Hi friends and new friends, I'm Christopher Carruthers, also known as Tao of Satoshi. Recently I did an interview with the lovely Sarai from Dash Help in Venezuela. We talked about the origins of this channel, how I got the name Tao of Satoshi, and numerous Dash topics such as the DAO and Masternode ownership. That's coming up right now in this episode of CATV. So what is Cash Alternative TV, other than that catchy jingle? Well, it's a show about cryptocurrency with a focus on Dash, which aims to be a digital cash for the world, or an alternative to cash. If that's something that interests you, you want to learn more about Dash, or just want to hang out with me some more, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss an episode. Now on to the topic of today's show. Without further ado, I'll let Sarai take it away and start this chat.
Hola, hola comunidad, sean bienvenidos a esta entrevista que es súper especial. Ustedes lo pidieron muchísimo y era saber la perspectiva de un nuevo maestro, si esto es rentable o no. Así que bueno, el día de hoy tenemos una persona súper especial, es una personalidad muy conocida en la comunidad y es Christopher Carruthers, o mejor conocido como Tao of Satoshi. So, hello Tao, thanks for your time and for being here today with us. How are you?
Great, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be talking about Dash whenever I get a chance, so this is great.
Oh, that's wonderful. That makes two of us. Mostly for our new users, can you tell us a bit about yourself so they can get to know about you?
Yeah, I'm Christopher Carruthers. You gave me a good introduction there. Tao of Satoshi is my username for the Dash community. And basically, I joined cryptocurrency in 2013. I found out about Bitcoin through a chat room, and it comes to getting, how do you call that, a VPN to get American Netflix, because I'm here in Canada and American Netflix has a lot more selection than the one in Canada. So I had to try to get a VPN. So I went to a VPN chat room and one of them was saying, you should use this service. I can't remember what the service name was called, but it accepted Bitcoin. So, and I'm like, well, what is Bitcoin? So then I went down the rabbit hole and I figured out what Bitcoin was. And I said, well, you know what? I could get in on the ground floor of something really good here. So I went down that rabbit hole. I figured out all about Bitcoin. And then after a while, I said, well, there must be something more than this because I valued privacy. And that's something where Dash was exceeding. It was doing really well in privacy at the time. And so I researched Evan, I researched the community, everybody was really nice. So I put a lot of my money into Dash, and slowly it became my main investment. I didn't have any Bitcoin anymore, I had Dash. So after that, I was doing a lot of marketing for Dash. I was doing anything I could on Twitter, started a YouTube channel, started the Dash Nation movement, a lot of things I've been doing for Dash over the years. And that's how people know me these days. So that's pretty much me, how I came involved in Dash.
Well, that was an interesting story. I mean, I didn't know that Netflix was
yeah,
the responsible for you to be here right now. Well, thanks to Netflix then. And I understand that definitely the US Netflix has a lot more series and movies, so I will have done the same.
Yeah, and I can't even remember what the name of the place was, the service, but yeah, they accepted Bitcoin, and here I am because of that.
Well, that's very good. Thanks to that VPN, Netflix, and Bitcoin too, because that made you be more involved in this crypto move and in Dash particularly. So we were all wondering, myself even, about how did you decide to put or call yourself Tao of Satoshi? Why that name? I was like so curious about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's another interesting story that has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. So it seems like both of my things have nothing to do with cryptocurrency. So how I got to be Tao of Satoshi, I'm going to start in the 80s. I'm a big fan of Major League Baseball in North America,
okay.
and specifically the Toronto Blue Jays, because I'm from Canada. And in the Toronto Blue Jays in the 80s and 90s had a really good pitcher. His name was Dave Stieb. He was like, he threw a no-hitter, and he was a really good pitcher of that time. And there was a guy who followed him, and he was a columnist for a newspaper in Canada. And his name was Tao of Stieb, right? So it was Tao, and it was his last name, Tao of Stieb. So, and he really worshipped this guy, like he was his favorite player. And so he was doing interviews with him, and he was doing like articles in the newspaper, and that was his screen name, Tao of Steve. So then when I became involved in cryptocurrency, obviously Satoshi Nakamoto, right, is the founder of cryptocurrency. So you could say I'm a big fan of Satoshi Nakamoto because without him, none of us would be here, or that group, or whoever it is, right? So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to say my name is going to be Tao of Satoshi, right? Because the guy I was doing was Tao of Steve. So I'm going to be Tao of Satoshi. And it just stuck from there.
Well, that's another interesting story and a merge, you know, about two worlds. So it's very, very nice.
Yeah.
And thank you for telling us. I mean, oh, tell me.
Yeah. But basically, that's also how I got the Dash Nation movement. I know this is a side thing, so I won't talk about it too much. But it's also a melding of two worlds. It's sports. You know how sports fans are very passionate. Like you're Venezuela. I'm sure like you have like soccer teams and stuff that you're very passionate about. And it's the same thing with cryptocurrency. I want the people that are involved in Dash to be very passionate about it. And that's part of how the Dash Nation movement started. So it's like partly sports team, partly cryptocurrency. And the melding of those two worlds is what I feel is important and gets people involved. So yeah, it's definitely like with Netflix and baseball and sports teams and the cryptocurrency, they all go together for me.
Well, that sounds like very interesting and a lot of fun, and you do a great job with being an enthusiast about Dash. If you users that are watching this interview, if you take the time to search for Christopher or Tao of Satoshi, you will see that he's a full-time enthusiast. If there's something new about Dash, he will be making a video of it or tweeting or etc. So he's very real with what he's saying. He's very, very real about it. He's a real enthusiast.
Well,
so you, yeah, you're welcome. You told me that your first approach was a VPN and Netflix. But what led you to continue trusting this crypto world? What let you know, like, hey, I could do this like on daily basis?
Well, first of all, it's a very good investment, I think, because it's so new. It's very at the beginning. Even if you're watching this today and you're seeing this video, you're still at the beginning. You're still way before the curve. Like we say that there's something called the bell curve. It goes like this, and then it goes up like this and goes down. Okay. So at the first of the bell curve is your early adopters. And then at the top of the bell curve is like your average person, like your mainstream. And then at the end are the laggards, the people that adopt technology the last. So right now, we're still before the big bell curve. We're still here. So if you get involved in cryptocurrency right now, you're still getting involved very early. And as far as being trustworthy of it, I think it's been around since 2009. It's been around a long time. And it hasn't been hacked. Like there's none of these main currencies have been hacked to a degree that people lose their money on a big basis, right? So I think that it's trustworthy in that sense. And also I think that now that we see more mainstream adoption, I think it's going to be trustworthy in the fact that it's going to be around for a long time also. And so I think that it's going to be trustworthy technologically and also trustworthy as an investment. So, and also by using it, like if you use Dash, you see that it works all the time. It's instant, it's cheap, you know, like there's no reason why it can't spread throughout the world. And that's what gives me confidence in Dash and also the community around it, as such as yourself is one, right? So there's a lot of aspects that give me confidence.
Well, I am very glad. And as Tao said, and we also want to transmit in Dash Help or YouTube channel, is that we don't only spread the word of Dash just because we work at Dash or because we have certain interest in Dash, but because we actually use Dash and we know the benefits of it. So we can assure you that this works, that is instant, that can protect your privacy if you want to keep safe your funds and everything. So we are speaking from experience.
Yep. And you guys are doing a great job too. I always see things on Twitter from Dash Help. And I don't, my wife is actually Spanish. She's from Guatemala, but I don't speak Spanish that well to understand everything that you're doing. But I can see that you're promoting it a lot. So I really thank you guys for that. Being a contractor in the Dash DAO, it's really good. You guys are doing a good job.
Oh, thank you so much. And I hope that your wife can teach you Spanish soon so you can see our content.
Poquito. Tengo acento de gringo.
Well, now you have even Tao Even Tao speaking Spanish, so now you can see.
Tao de Satoshi.
This is a very good, nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tao of Satoshi, exactly. And I was also curious about Dash Nation because I saw that you were interested in building a community where we all Dash users feel like we have this identity of being part of Dash. And also Cash Alternative TV, for those who don't know, it's like a show that shows you news or novelties about Dash in general. So how were Dash Nation and Cash Alternative TV conceived?
Oh, well, Dash Nation was my first idea. And basically, it's like I said, it was a melding of the two worlds of being involved in sports and being very passionate about a sports team, which I would consider Dash to be like that. And having people contribute with any way they can, right? Because everyone has their own strengths, right? Some people are good at videos. Some people are good at writing things. Some people are good at teaching things. Some people are good at doing coding. There's a lot of different things that go into the community and a lot of things that can help move Dash forward. So I want everybody in the community to know, like en español también, that they can help however they want, right? They can see that they can do whatever their strength is, they can use that to help Dash. Say if you're good in person and you're good at talking to people, just go out and introduce Dash to one person a day, right? Like this is how you can contribute. Nobody has to be like at the top and contributing, like having their face everywhere all the time. It's just little things that you can do every day that can help move Dash forward. And that's the big thing about Dash Nation. So I started a website called dashnation.com, and you can visit that if you would like to see it. We also have a Spanish version. We have lots of Spanish articles, actually. I have a lot of writers from Venezuela, so that would probably be interesting in your viewers, so they can watch that. And then afterwards, I said, you know what? I'm kind of good at doing videos. Maybe I should start a video channel about Dash. So that was where Cash Alternative TV was born. I actually talk about a whole bunch of different cryptocurrencies as well, but Dash is my main focus. Like the tagline is a show about cryptocurrency with a focus on Dash. So I could talk about anything and actually bring it around and compare it to Dash, which is kind of cool, right? Because then other people from other communities can come and they can see, okay, well, he's talking about our community, but he's also comparing it to Dash and showing how Dash can also do a good job in crypto. So that's neat. And I think Cash Alternative TV is doing well. The last little while, we got about 500 subscribers, and that's really cool. I'm really excited about how that's turning out.
Well, congratulations. That seems like very nice. Like even an idea. Maybe you didn't think you will be amazing at videos or hosting shows, but here you are now.
Yeah.
With a 5,000 subscribers on YouTube channel, being one of the personalities about the community Dash, and it's also good because most people expect you or your channel or Dash community to have channels to compare cryptocurrencies, but only like to defeat or to talk negative about other cryptos. But we only like to compare both features so they can know that maybe Dash is not for you, maybe it's not what you look for, but we also want you to know what we personally choose Dash. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now talking about Venezuela, in your opinion, do you think Dash could solve some of the problems in terms of economy and finances here in Venezuela?
Well, I was thinking about this question because you guys sent me the questions before the show. I was thinking about it, and I don't want to be arrogant and presume to know what is going on down there. Like I heard things, I've seen reports. I know the general idea of what is happening there, but in order to like compare yourself to somebody on the ground and what's actually happening to somebody and what they're going through on a day-to-day basis, I don't really know. So I'm going to try to do the high-level view of what these people might be going through and how Dash can help them. So I think that because Dash is a cryptocurrency that acts like cash, like you can actually take it somewhere and spend it, and then that person can spend it right away, and you can spend it anywhere you want, and it's private. I think that this is something that would actually appeal to Venezuelans because I heard there's hardships when it comes to cash. Like the bolivars are hard to get. The banks give you restrictions on how much you can take out. US dollar is scarce. It's hard to find it down there. And I think that Dash can substitute as a cryptocurrency in that way, and it's inexpensive. That's the biggest thing that Dash has compared to the other ones. So if you're a Venezuelan and you have Bitcoin, it's going to cost you like $15 every time to send it. That's not good. If you have Ethereum, it costs you like another like $5 or $6 or $10 to send it. That's not good either. So, but with Dash, it's less than a penny, right? So this is something that most Venezuelans would be able to do, I think. And also the fact that it acts like cash and it's easy for people to transfer it back and forth between each other, I think it can act more like a virtual currency than the other ones. So taking into consideration what I know about what's happening in Venezuela, I think that Dash would be the best suited currency to solve the problems there. But I'm always open to hearing other perspectives, like such as yourself, because you're from there. I don't want to, I'm from Canada. I don't know anything of what's happening. So I just don't, I want to be careful with that when people are looking at me for advice. But all I know is that I think that Dash, with its attributes of cash, would definitely be the best one for people to use in Venezuela.
Yeah, well, also we have interactions. I don't know if you saw, but we were at Church Chicken in a mall here in Venezuela, in Caracas, and people were like surprised about how fast Dash was. You know, at first they were like reluctant and they were like, oh, I don't want to download an app, you know. And then when I sent them the Dash so they could pay, they were like, oh, this is very fast. And yes, now you heard even Tao of Satoshi saying that Dash, even though he doesn't know much about the Venezuelan background, he knows that it can be an alternative for Venezuelans. You don't have to spend long hours or make long lines to get a few bolivars, or you don't have to pay with dollars and don't have any change. But you can download an app and start use Dash. As simple as that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy. The thing with Dash is it's easy right now. Like it's definitely a better user experience than other cryptocurrencies, because when you send it, it's instantaneous, and then you can send it back. You can keep sending it back and forth for like 10 times, and you're still paying less than a cent in fees. You know, so like it's something that you can just play with. You know, even if you wanted to just play with it with a neighbor or something like that. And you can't do that with Bitcoin for sure, because that's going to cost you $15 each time. Forget that. But also, it's a thing that some people might not realize, and I don't know if your viewers are familiar, but there's this new thing coming out called Dash Platform, which is going to make crypto easy to use. It's going to make Dash even easier to use. So you might be familiar with like a PayPal interface where you'd have like people's IDs instead of like long addresses. So this is what Dash Platform is going to offer. In the Dash Pay wallet, you're going to have like, so instead of a big long address, I see Sarai, right? So I send money to Sarai, you can send it back to Tao of Satoshi, and that's how it would go. And also you can access this on all kinds of different platforms. So if you want to do on the same wallet on your computer, your same wallet on your phone, the same wallet on your iPad or what else you might have, you can access the same account from each device. So this is something that doesn't exist in cryptocurrency right now, unless you go to a centralized thing, right? So Dash is going to be the first centralized currency to offer this way of doing things. So not only is it going to be fast, not only is it going to be secure, not only is it going to be instantaneous and cheap, you're also going to be able to access it anywhere, and it's going to be easy to use. So I like to call it the complete package. It's going to be probably by the end of this year that technology will be out.
Well, we are all excited about it, and even one of some users from the Venezuelan community are testing the Dash platform, and they are trying, you know, using nicknames or usernames. So yeah, it's very exciting. And one thing I love about Dash is that it's user friendly and it focuses on user friendliness.
Yeah.
So anyone could use Dash, so anyone, so no one can use an excuse and, oh no, that's very hard. No, you can even say mama, and you will have your mom's Dash account if that's her username, of course. So I know that you answered this question before, but during this time, like since 2013, have you ever doubted about the usability of Dash or cryptocurrencies in the real world?
Well, like I say, I don't like to throw shade on other cryptocurrencies, but it has to be said. It's just the truth, right? So like when you're using Bitcoin, it takes a long time to use it. People have like said, okay, you're going to go to a centralized service and they give you like half an hour to make this deposit, and then they make the deposit, but it takes more than half an hour on the network to do it. So then they lost their money. Well, they didn't lose it, but they have to go through a hassle of calling support and getting their money back and everything else. This is just a terrible user experience, and you have to pay more money for it. So yes, I was doubting Bitcoin for a while because of that. And I have a currency called Hex, and I use it on the Ethereum network. And that's basically what's called like a blockchain CD. So you put your Hex into the blockchain CD and you can get interest over time. It's also a good one. I'm very happy with this one. But to use it, you got to go through the Ethereum network. So every time you put a stake in there, you got to pay like $30 to $40. Like it's just crazy. And then I go to Dash and I send a transaction for less than a penny. I'm like, what are these people doing? You know, why are they using it? I know obviously you have to use that product. But I think that if you use something like on Dash, if you develop the same thing on top of Dash with the Masternode network and our commitment to keep the fees low, it just would make so much more sense. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I have had crises of confidence when it comes to the other cryptos, but with Dash, I never have.
Well, I'm very glad. And yes, it's as you said, even myself, I even tried to have more than one cryptocurrency, and I was trying to get Bitcoin Cash. And it took like 2 hours for me to get Bitcoin Cash in my wallet. It was insane. The fees were very high. Meanwhile, with Dash, it's very fast. And even my mom is so excited about Dash, and she uses the wallet even more than me. So,
Okay, bueno.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to see like other people who also see the benefits of Dash. You know, it's like you said, even if you talk about Dash to one person each day, it can make a difference because you are growing this community.
Absolutely. If you think about it, like if everybody in the Dash community just talked to one more person a day, we just doubled. Like our community just doubled, you know, and that's all you have to do. Just talk to one person. If everybody does that, we're good to go.
Wonderful. And now talking about masternodes, what is the best thing about being a masternode, and what led you to become a masternode? What led you to say, okay, I have to be a masternode owner, I have to invest in this, I do believe in this?
Well, at the beginning, I just had a lot of Dash, right? Like I showed up at the beginning, like I was there when Dash was like $2 a coin, right? So I invested quite a bit of Dash. And then the Masternode concept came up and they said, you need to have 1,000 Dash to do it. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna get involved in this because number one, I enjoy to have the payments. Those are good, right? But also I want to have a say in the future of Dash, and I want to be able to say I help to move the network along, to do the processes that are involved in Dash, like PrivateSend and InstantSend. Those are run through the masternodes, and I think that's good, you know. And I think these technologies were something that didn't happen, and I want to be on the ground floor of it. But if I was somebody who was coming along today and I had to make an investment into Dash, I would probably just say the same thing, because I think that it's good to have payments. It's good to make trustless interest, but it's also good to say I'm a part of something and I can help. My vote actually helps to mold the future of Dash, right? So I think it's something that gives you a bit more of a hands-on when it comes to the day-to-day runnings of Dash. So I find that interesting. I think that Dash is one of the only currencies that has this. So we vote on things, right? And then whatever the results of that vote is, everybody has to put up with that. Whereas in other currencies, they're constantly fighting and they're constantly saying, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's a popularity contest on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube and everything else. But whereas with Dash, we do it, we vote, and that's it. You know, either you like it, you sell your coins, or you move on, right? And that's the one thing that I think is some people that are coming to it today, that's something that they might be interested in.
Yeah. As you said, one thing about Dash is that Dash, as Tao found it, it's a Dash nation, because we all have like one feeling, one identity. Of course, the Dash community debates upon things, and that's why the new features are implemented gradually. Because we, or the Dash community, wants everyone to feel pleased or welcome, or feel like their opinions are being actually heard. So that's something you should check if you are doubting or hesitant if you want to invest in Dash. And how has been your experience all this time working as a masternode of Dash?
It used at the beginning, it was really time consuming. Like at the beginning, there was always a new version coming out. That was back when our original founder, Evan Duffield,
Okay.
he was still part of the project. And this guy, he liked to just release. It seems like every day. Sometimes like you come back in a few more hours and there's a new release. You have to update your masternodes. So, but it definitely kept people on their toes, right? So like that's something that if you're interested in that, if you want to be part of it, you want to have that hands on, which I said I did. It was kind of fun, you know, like okay, it's a new version, let's update. But now over time, it hasn't been doing that. Over time now we have to update maybe once every 2 or 3 months, right? Which is good. I mean, we can still keep track of our masternodes. We still have to update our VPSs. Like we still have to make sure our VPSs are on the latest software and everything else. So there's still quite a bit of things to do with it. And also, I think when you're a Masternode owner, not just the technical aspect, but I think for me anyway, I feel like I have to take on more of a leadership role in the community and express what it's like to be an into Dash to more people. So that's why I take it seriously, my outreach on Twitter and YouTube and everything else. I think that being a Masternode owner puts you in that position where you have to be a good face for Dash.
Yeah, and I really like that because you know, for Dash users, it's not common to see the face of a masternode. We all see like masternodes as gods or as the Olympus or something like that. So it's very nice to see, you know, how a masternode owner thinks and what he has to, you know, to give to the community, and that's very, very, very nice.
Yeah, Masternode owners come in all shapes and sizes. You know, like there's some that have no idea about technology, kind of like me. There's some that are tech that are tech nerds, and there's some that are like just here because they want to have every different currency. They want to have their hands in all kinds of different pots. So yeah, like masternodes might seem like they're up there, right? But they're just regular people like you and I. It's just some of them might have happened to be in the right place at the right time, like I was, and other ones might just be a little bit richer. They have enough money to invest at this time. But mainly they're just people like you and I. And then there's people that are we have fights and arguments and we don't see eye to eye on everything. But at the end we all move on because we all know that this is the consensus that the network came to. So yeah, I'm happy that I can show my face as a Masternode owner to your viewers and say, yeah, we're just regular people.
Well, we're now, you know, that master owners are just like us. They all, of course, have you know, their doubts or their things to say about some cryptocurrency, and it's very nice to see, especially like your opinion or other master owners that like to be more like not in the spotlight but more publicly, so they can show and spread the word of Dash because they feel like this commitment of making the cryptocurrency grow. Because one thing about cryptocurrencies and networks in general is that we all want to grow. You know, it's very inclusive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, many of our followers have been wondering, and we have been asked this a lot, is that if it's really worth in terms of profit, experience, working time. You know, in Venezuela, it's not a secret that everyone wants to become a masternode. Mostly, if our new users, they see this thing about being masternode and they see that they can vote and they see that they can receive money monthly. So they, of course, get so excited about becoming a masternode. So what was the advice you wished you had when you became a masternode?
Well, basically, like I said, my situation is a little bit different because I was there from the beginning. I was always into Dash, and just having this opportunity to be a Masternode owner is something that you know I just jumped at because what's the point of having this Dash if you're not putting it to good use? So I said, you know what, this is good, and yeah, being a Masternode owner is good in the sense that you can get that trustless interest. And nowadays, you don't have to work as hard as you did back then. Like I said, yeah, when Evan was there, it was like every day you're updating. But now it's like every 2 or 3 weeks you update. So it's not as hard as it used to be. So basically, you just have to make sure you're always paying attention to make sure there's not a new update that you have to update to. But other than that, it's pretty good. So I recommend it if you want to be a part of a masternode. There's a service called CrowdNode that you can actually go and put your Dash into, and you can actually be part of a masternode and you can have your voice heard. So like what happens is the interior of the masternode, all the people that are making up that masternode can vote, and they just base it on the percentage that you have. So say if you have 500 Dash out of the 1,000, then you have 50% of the vote in that masternode. So like whatever happens, you vote on all these different projects, on all these different proposals. So, and every vote that you have will count towards that one masternode vote at that, the total masternode vote. But I have to caution you because that's a centralized service and you don't have the keys. So that's something that you have to consider to yourself if you're willing to take that risk. I will say that they've been around for a while and they're very trustworthy. They have responded on Discord quite a bit to any kind of complaints that they have. But at the same time, they are centralized. So they could take off with your Dash. It's just that's just the way you could say, right? But if you have enough money to become a full masternode, I definitely recommend it. It's good. It pays you about 7% interest a year. So if you invest 1,000 Dash, you'll make about 70 Dash a year in payments. And that's not including the price appreciation of Dash, which we're sure to see over time. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. If you have enough to be a full masternode, do it. If you don't, then you can consider those services like CrowdNode.
Yeah, well, now you heard. Now you know that Tao fully recommends to become a Masternode owner. And as he said, you also have several options. You can become a full Masternode owner, or you can have a portion of a Masternode owner with CrowdNode. I myself tried this platform, and it's very easy to use. And the people who are behind the CrowdNode platform are very welcoming. They respond anytime, even if we have this difference of time zone, they answer you anytime. So I would recommend it. Of course, considering, as Tao said, is that it is a centralized platform. So if for some sort of reason they have, like a shortcut or something like that, you will not be able to to access to CrowdNode in those terms. So I also have a follow-up question. It was very hard to set a Masternode.
Oh, is it hard? Is that the
Yes.
question?
Yes.
No,
the software and the
Yes, there is a bit of a learning curve towards it. Yes, I will say so. But there are some services like Masternode Zeus that's out there. If you go in the Discord, it's an XKCD that created that. And if you install that on your VPS and you put in your BLS private key and all the information that you need, I believe it sets it up for you. I'm not sure because I haven't actually gone through it. It's been a while since I've had to set up a Masternode. I actually, back in the day, I had a whole tutorial on how to set up a Masternode. It was called Tao of Satoshi's Guide to Setting Up a Masternode for Dummies, right? because I like
that's so interesting.
Yeah, because I like to consider myself a dummy, right? And those help books. I don't know if they're in Venezuela, but they're like such and such for dummies. This is this for dummies. So like that's why I set it up like that. I basically went through step by step on how to set up a Masternode. And I think a lot of it's still valid, but there's more now that there used to be because now you have the BLS and you have other things you have to set up, Sentinel and things like that. But yes, to answer the question, yes, it is a bit of a technical ride. But if you start doing it and you have any questions or anything like that, the Dash community is very open and friendly and willing to help you. There's a Discord, in the Discord, there's a channel called Help Desk. If you put any troubles that you're having there, they're going to help you out, and we're always helping you out. We're always looking out for people there. So yes, if you're going to start for the first time, it might take you a few hours to set it up, but then if you have any more after that, it'll take you less and less time as you go on.
Oh yes, as everything, every beginning is a bit like not hard, but a bit like confusing for us because we don't know what we're facing. But now Tao said that it's not impossible. So if you have
it's a process. It's a process. Put it that way.
Okay. Well, now you know that if you have doubts regarding how to set a Masternode, you just have to go to Discord or docs.dash.org. It's also very helpful. Or if you want to see the videos of Tao, you can see how to set up a Masternode for dummies.
Just to correct you, that's not actually a video. That's actually like a write-up on Dash Talk,
okay.
on the Dash forum. Yeah, it's a post there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah,
it will be a good idea to make a video too for people who are more like visual,
that's a good, that's
It's
true. Maybe I'll
crazy.
do that one time.
Yes, it's crazy that nowadays people are so, reluctant to read and they want videos. That's why we're moving to YouTube because people want videos and videos and videos. So
For sure,
yeah,
for sure. You have a nice smile too, so I'm sure a lot of people like that.
thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you very much. And we were also wondering if is it possible to live from a Masternode owner? Like you can like just relax and be a Masternode full time.
Oh, hold on a sec. Let me just do some calculations here. So what did I say? I said 70 dash, right?
Yes.
So 70 dash times, what's it, 338. I put it in Canadian dollars. So it's about $23,660 a year in Canadian. So that might be about 15,000, 16,000 US, something like that. So if you can live off of that, then absolutely. I'm not sure what the cost of living is in Venezuela, but for sure, it's definitely a competitive thing.
Well, thank you very much. Well, Venezuela, it's right now very expensive, but it's definitely like cheaper, like compared to the United States or Canada, in those
Yeah.
terms. So
It's definitely a good supplement, no matter, like if you can't perfectly live off of it, you wouldn't have to work as hard. You probably like maybe you just have to have a part-time job or something to supplement that income. And or if you want a higher standard of living, then you keep doing the full-time and just have that as extra money. So it basically, but I think 16,000, it might be quite a bit in Venezuela, no?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a considerable amount of money here.
Good.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to talk about one of the responsibilities that the master owners had. Because maybe we common users, we see it, it's such a gift to be able to vote upon a proposal, but it's quite a responsibility because you are voting upon a project that may benefit or not the Dash ecosystem. So in your personal opinion, what does Tao of Satoshi or Christopher Carruthers wants to see in our proposal?
Oh, okay. We've made a lot of mistakes in the Dash DAO. We've back in 2017 when Dash was worth a lot of money. That means we had a lot of money to spend every month. I think we had at one point we had around $7 million a month to spend, and we were searching for ways to spend this money. And I don't think that we did a good job. We were sponsoring MMA fighters, and we were sponsoring like these shows that maybe ran for 2 weeks and hardly had any Dash content in them. So we wasted a lot of money back then. So what I want to see in a proposal, and now we have the DIF, which is the Dash Investment Foundation, and that's actually going to help us if we have a bull run coming up and Dash increases in value. We're going to be able to save a lot of that money towards doing investments later on. Whereas before we had to kind of spend it at the time because there's no way we're going to get that back. And we thought at the time we're on top of the world. We have so much money, it's always going to keep running in. But guess what happened after that? It was the bear market, and it just kept going down, 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 down. We had to cut things and cut things and cut things. So I think over time we have to kind of try to balance it out and save when it's going good, and then that way we have money for when it's not going good. But it's kind of, we're going off topic a little bit. So, but I think when it comes to a proposal, we should actually have somebody that actually can contribute to code. That code is the biggest thing for me as a Masternode owner. I want to see the code going forward. I want to see more things being developed around Dash. And then marketing is second. Once we have the code down pat, we have everything that we need to do, and Dash is considered close to a finished product, which just needs improvements. Then we can start with the marketing. Then we can start with getting ourselves out there. It feels like right now we're just marketing a half-finished product because it's not, the Dash platform isn't out yet. So why are we marketing a half-finished product? We should be putting our eggs into actually working on the code and getting everything up to snuff. And then once everything's up to snuff, then we can go with the marketing. But then there's other things that happen at the same time, like legal. There's like legal things that have to happen and things like that. And there's infrastructure things like new apps and things like that. Those are things that I would support too. But I'm starting to get away from the marketing aspect of it until we actually have something to market. But as far as a proposal owner, I want to see somebody who puts a good description on their proposal. I want to see somebody who has a plan, has a way to earn their own money over time, so the DAO doesn't have to keep funding them. And I want to see somebody who's polite to the Masternode owners, who's not going to fall apart at any sort of criticism. These are things that I look for when it comes to a proposal. So if any Venezuelans want to do a proposal, yeah, just be polite, be courteous to people, have a good plan, be very detailed, and have something that will actually help the DAO in this moment, which would be like coding or another app for Dash, like Dash Text. Dash Text would be a good example. You guys, Dash Help, having a help desk is really important for people that are struggling of trying to use Dash. Although it's pretty hard to struggle with Dash, but if you do, then you guys are around. So that's what I would definitely say for anybody who's thinking to do a proposal. If you want to win my vote, I can't speak for everybody, but that's my vote.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your insight about how a Dash proposal has to be, you know, and I think that your guidelines or your requirements are not very hard to get. Just be detailed so the Masternode owners can be familiarized with your project and be polite and be able to respond to any of their questions, because of course they are investing money that it's not directly theirs, but is Dash money, you know, and of course they have to be really careful with every decision they make upon a proposal. So I think that those requirements are very on point.
Thank you.
Yeah, and finally, what do you expect on your future projects? Do you have an upcoming project? What do you expect for a Dash Nation cash alternative to be in the future?
I don't have any specific plans. No, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and keep encouraging people to use Dash, keep educating people about Dash and providing news for people. And anybody who wants to watch me can do so. And like I said, I'm really encouraged by the numbers that keep going up, the subscribers, because the more people that I get into their ear about Dash, the more investment we can have, and the more people using Dash and also spreading the word ultimately, right? So basically, not any specific plans or anything big, just continue what I'm doing and hoping for the best.
Yes, and you're also a bit unpredictable, because we didn't expect, for example, Tao and Amanda, and it was like amazing, and you just got that out of the blue. So
yeah,
you know, maybe in the future.
Yeah, unfortunately, like she doesn't want to have like a permanent thing, you know, so that's why that didn't work out. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm always open to new collaborations. If anybody wants to start a show with me, yeah, that's for sure. I'm very flexible and easygoing when it comes to that stuff.
Well, now you know, if you're an enthusiast of Dash and if you want to show, that is very open to do that.
Yeah, if there's any like people that are in Venezuela that are fluent in English and they want to start like a English-Spanish type of thing, that would be really cool too, I would say.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time, Tao. It was very interesting. As you can see, Tao is very easygoing. It's the very first time we're talking, and as you can see, it was very fluent. So now you can have an insight of how he is, or of how are his thoughts regarding Dash, regarding Masternodes, regarding Venezuela. So thank you so much for your time.
This was her first interview. She was telling me before we started, so I think she did a very good job. Good clap for
Thank you. Thank you very much. It means a lot. It's like a weight off of my shoulders.
So I guess I'll just, go ahead.
No, continue.
No, I just wanted to let people know how to get a hold of me if they wanted to. So on Twitter, I'm at Tao of Satoshi. And on Twitter, I'm sorry, on YouTube, it's Cash Alternative TV. So just regular Cash Alternative TV.
Yes, I was just about to ask you that. How can people synchronize you? And now you know, it's just searching Cash Alternative TV on YouTube, and then you will see all of the videos of Tao that he has regarding Dash, regarding the crypto world, regarding Hex, that it is also one of his interests. And also Dash Nation, it's a very user-friendly page for people who are starting in Dash. And he even has like a summary or an index with the the most recommended links for someone who is starting in Dash, like Dash.org, etc.
Yeah, and for the Spanish people that are watching, which is probably 90%, that we have a lot of Spanish articles in Spanish on the Dash Nation website too. So if you go to the international section and click down to Comunidad, then you'll see all the Spanish articles that we have.
Oh, wonderful. And also I had a question, a very personal question, and I am a bit like shy to tell, but I was wondering, will we ever have a follow-up of 12 days of a blockchain Christmas? You know, I really loved that video, and I was wondering if you are planning to repeat that.
Okay, well, I'll take it under advisement and I'll see what I can do for this year. But that was something that just came to me, and it was really cool because I just thought of all the things that happen in the blockchain space, all the different things that I could say, 3 of this, 2 of that. And it just happened that there was 3 Bitcoins and 2 Ethereums, and everything just happened to work out. So yeah, I can't believe that anybody even likes that video, but that's cool. Yeah, I had fun making it. It was really cool. But yeah, I'll keep it under advisement and see, maybe I'll do it at the same one again, but just update it a little bit.
Well, yes, if you have the opportunity to watch the video, it's very fun. It's very also informative because, as he said, 2 Ethereums, 3 Bitcoins, 5 ICOs, 4 hard forks. As you can see, I know the whole song.
Oh, wow. I've got a fan over there, I see.
Yeah. That was the secret reason why Giorgio chose me to do this interview.
Awesome. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for your time again. I don't know if you have any final thoughts regarding Dash or the community Dash here in Venezuela and Latin America.
No, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. It was a great talking to you. You're very good on camera, very good as a communicator. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, keep doing a good job down there in Spanish, and I'll try to keep doing a good job up here in English. And anybody who's watching, try out a Dash wallet if you're new to Dash. If you're not new to Dash, get out there and talk to people. Just get them to download an app, send them some Dash. It only costs less than a penny, Just get people involved, get people happy. I think we're in a bull run now. People are going to want to know about it. So this is the time to strike. So I'm happy to have been on the show, and hopefully we either changed some people's minds today or got people even more involved in Dash.
Yes, and thank you so much for your insight because, as I said before, many people may think that being a masternode is very complicated, and they see, the insights very far. So it's very enriching to have an opinion or your personal opinion about how is it to be a masternode owner, how was your experience with Dash, how did you get to Dash, and those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. As always, remember to subscribe and turn on the bell so you can have notifications of new upcoming videos. And yeah, well, thank you very much for your time, Tao. And we will see, I hope we see each other soon.
Thanks very much. Well, that was my chat with Sarai of Dash Help. I hope you enjoyed it. That's it for me today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the bell if you want to see more from me in Cash Alternative TV episodes. Until next time, remember, Dash is a digital alternative to cash, and it's becoming more so every day. Bye for now.
Cash Alternative.